There are a couple of additional sketch entity types that we'd like to go over. One is the sketch fillet. And in order to create a sketch fillet, I've got to make a couple of lines on the screen. And let's make a couple of different situations. Okay. In the first case, we're going to take the sketch fillet and select 2 lines. Now notice that this one will take the already selected line and intersect it with the other line and put a fillet at the intersection. If I clear the selection and I want to put a fillet in between these 2 lines, where the selections were made makes a difference. So if I select here, or if I select here, notice that the portion of the line that I selected is the part that will be kept. When the preview shows the fillet that you want, just press the green check mark. If you have several intersections that you want to fillet at the same time, you can use the sketch fillet and click on the actual intersections rather than the individual lines. If you increase the size, all of the fillets will increase together. And if you create all 4 in the same command, they will get an equal relationship. So that if we show sketch relations, we have equal relationships on all of the fillets. Escape, Control A, delete. Along with the sketch fillet comes a sketch chamfer, which works much in the same way. The next tool is the Polygon, which is easy enough to use. It's just like the circle. You click on the center and drag the radius. While it's selected, you can change the number of sides on the polygon. You can also change it from an inscribed circle, where the circle is inside and tangent to all of the lines, to a circumscribed circle, where the circle touches the outer vertices. There are some additional tools, such as trim and extend, which I'll demonstrate here. We have a couple of lines, one that crosses and one that doesn't quite make it. Let's use the trim command. With power trim, you can drag the cursor across the portion of the line that you want to get rid of. And if there are no more portions to divide, it will delete the line. I'm going to hit Control Z to get it back, and Control Z to put it back the way it was. You can use other types of trims. The other most common is the trim to closest, where instead of dragging your cursor across, you just click on the section of the line that you want to get rid of. You can also click on a line and drag to the next line and drop, in which case the trim acts as an extend. And if you look on the drop down for the trim entities, the other tool here is extend. So trim works as extend even though there are 2 separate icons. Let's trim this last section here and then use the offset entities. I'm going to drag a box around all of these lines and use the offset command. You can offset in one direction, in both directions, or you can switch directions. If you've offset in both directions, you can cap the ends with either arcs or straight lines. So the offset sketch entities is a very useful tool. Mirror entities is also very important. So let's Control A and delete. Mirror entities assumes that there is a center line in the sketch at some point. Center line and construction line are the same thing. I'm going to anchor one end of my center line to the origin in the sketch and draw it vertically. Now you'll notice that most of my sketches have been blue, but this sketch is black. That's because it's locked down to the origin, and because it has a vertical relationship, it can't move in either direction. So if I were to sketch a rectangle on one side, hit Escape to clear the rectangle tool, and then drag a box around the rectangle, and the center line, click the mirror entities, and SOLIDWORKS automatically gives me a mirrored rectangle. If I change the mirrored rectangle, the original moves, and if I change the original, the mirrored one moves as well. I could also move the center line if I were to delete the coincident to the origin. Just click on that and press delete on the keyboard. Notice that this center line now turns blue, and I can drag the center line, so all of this symmetry is completely parametric. The final type of sketch entity I want to show is the sketch text. So I'm going to drag a box, delete all of that, draw a simple spline with 4 points, press escape, get out of the tool, and the sketch text is not on my sketch toolbar. It may be on yours, but mine's quite short. So under Tools, Sketch Entities, I'll click on Text, and in the Curves area, I'll click on this spline. And then I'll click in the Text area to type in the text I want on a curve. Notice the text comes in very small, so I can turn off the Use Font and change the font from 1/8 of an inch to, say, 0.5. I could also change the spacing between the letters and change the width of the letters themselves. I could put the text on the top or on the bottom, have it go front to back or back to front. Also, if you want to, you can rotate the letters, and this is changed by changing this value within the text field. Notice that you have to select the text that you want. If you only want a portion bolded, then you select that first and click the bold icon. When you've got it the way you want it, generally, people take the original curve and make it into construction geometry. Now, there are two ways to do that. By clicking on the curve itself, the pop-up toolbar allows you to change it to construction geometry, or the property manager has a checkbox for construction as well. With text created in this way, you can now extrude it. Just as a warning, extruded text generally adds a lot to your rebuild time in models because it has a lot of geometry in there, and if you type a whole paragraph, it's going to take a very long time to extrude it.